Good morning, friends. How are we doing today? That was a weird transition. Not the transition that I thought would be the one. Anyway, I hope you are all well and having a great start to your week. It's Monday morning. We're back with our Soul Silver Shiny Only Hardcore Nuzlocke that we started a while ago. We've got the Dratini hunt on the go, so we'll see how we get on with this one today. Hopefully we manage to snag it. But how is everyone? Great to see you all. Thanks so much for hopping into the stream today to join us. Mighty, good morning. Zedenchik, Cisco, James, Luke, and everyone else. How are we all doing today? Great to see you though. What's everyone been up to over the weekend? We need to get out of the trap of nicknaming these Dratinis, don't we? Every single time we do it. Every time. Right, let's check. First ones. How good would it be if we got the shiny on the first one this morning? Let's see. We got any luck? No luck. No luck. And I know what I need to do. I need to change the increment counter because I've been using this counter for something else and it's only going to count up one at a time. So I need to show that it is intervals of 2. And that should be working there. Right. That should take us to 545. Excellent. There we go. All right. We're good to go. Oh, good morning, Natalie. Great to see you. How are you all doing? And Shiny Honey, great to see you. Power, how are we today? I hope you're well, my friend. And looking forward to what is Golden Week in Japan. And we've got these new events in Scarlet and Violet coming later this week, which is exciting. I completely forgot when the event got announced that it was Golden Week this week. And then the comments section reminded me, I need to get a better handle on doing this. So we've got the shiny Gimmighoul. I think we should stream that this week. I think that would be a good one to go for. When it's running, take advantage of the event while it's there. I haven't streamed shiny hunting that event at all in the last two, because I think the last time it ran was when Worlds was on last year, so I was out in Hawaii. So I didn't have a chance to get it then. I've still got it, funny enough, in my Violet copy, so I could go and do it there, but I think we'll just get it in Scarlet and then we'll try and snag a shiny Goldingo while the event's running. But exciting, and then the mass outbreaks as well, which is always nice to see those coming back around. I had a panic there that we got the shiny and it was just Typhlosion. nearly popped off a little bit too soon there. Nearly. Just fumbling the buttons. I hope you're having a good morning, Shiny Honey. I am. I hope you are as well. Great to see you as always. It's nice to be back doing this. I had all the best intentions of jumping in last week to do it, and I thought the schedule would be back to normal last week, but it wasn't. But now going forward, it's going to be good. I did mean to do a stream schedule, which I will try and get up. So this week it looks like we'll probably be going for Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and that might be the schedule going forward. Obviously we'll have Thursday evening with Charlie. We're going to go back in to do the Soul Link Nuzlocke attempt number 2. So that should be fun. That's coming up this Thursday, of course, so keep an eye out for that one. That'll be an evening stream, and then hopefully if we can make our way through this and make some good progress with the Dratini, then we can move on to some other things, because like I said on the last time we were doing this, I feel like we're pretty close once we've got this shiny, and then maybe one more to kind of finish and locking up the game. I feel like Ho-Oh is definitely the one that we should go for though. Rad Dad, great to see you. Tara, great to see you. Rich, good morning on this fine Monday morning. It's glorious out there today. It's lush, it's so nice. So yeah, summer is on its way, which is awesome. Getting to hunt Gimmighoul is so nice, but it's gonna be hard. I know, that's what I'm thinking. I'm not looking forward to the hunt. It's gonna be really tough, but at the same time I keep thinking like we've never really had a hard shiny hunt in Scarlet and Violet, so this is like the one that we've got access to, so it gives us a good opportunity. I can't complain about there not being any difficult shiny hunts in Scarlet and Violet and then just bypass this one, so I've got to grasp it with both hands. I'm kind of looking forward to it, to be honest. I think it'll be good, and to get that shiny Gimmighoul's kind of, it's just a cool one to get, although the shiny could be better, I would argue that, but getting it for the shiny, I mean, shiny Livendex, getting 2 of them, be a bit difficult. I think one will be enough. One will be enough. If we can get one at all. But I would love to be able to get the raid den and then host it for everyone. That would be the perfect scenario. So we'll see how we get on with it this week and into next when we're doing it. Shiny Gimmighoul would be great, but I need to get my mighty Salamence first. Yes, make sure you do lock that up. Hopefully it's a nice and easy one for you to get. We've got a couple of builds on the channel. Electros seems like probably the most go-to choice. I like the Mew. It's a little bit faster. It feels a bit more consistent, but it does require you having a Mew. And then there's some other really fun builds as well that other content creators and other people have come up with to make it pretty easy. You've got to kind of manipulate your partnering Pokemon though a lot of the time, and an Intimidator is kind of necessary as well. But things like Bellibolt can do it. Iron Hands, Annihilate even I've seen have some success with it. But Bellibolt, I was going to do another video with Bellibolt, but it's so inconsistent. I just couldn't get the consistency down with it. It can do it, but there's so much RNG in the raid that just makes it very volatile. And I feel like that's kind of a trend with these pseudo legendary raids as well. They feel very volatile, like the RNG heavy, where the starter Pokemon didn't feel like that at all. If you find it, is it possible to host or not? Yes, Rich, that would be the goal. So if I find it, I would be able to save in front of the raid den. I just need to be very conscious about keeping my date and time, not allowing the day to skip over. So I would keep the raid den, then we could just host it for multiple streams, which would be amazing. So it would be a lot of streams in a short period of time, because we'd be on the clock then before the event ending, because of course when we go online and if the event is ended, then we can't host it anymore. So we'd have to hopefully get it early on, and then we can just host it for the rest of the time when that event is running, which would be ideal. An adamant and a brave one there. That would have been awesome if the adamant one had been a shiny. James, it's good to see you back, Lee. I'm at the gym, so I'll probably be lurking for the most part, but I hope to get the shiny soon. Thank you so much, mate, and have a good sesh at the gym. I've had my session already this morning, so I feel like I've been a little bit more productive this morning, which has been good. But enjoy it, mate. I hope it's a good one. And drop in whenever you can, and let us know how those the hunts for the Raikou have been going. Love to hear an update if you've had any luck with grabbing them recently. Come on, Dratini, you want to shine for us today. You definitely do. And Power, you're looking at the Electros build. Yeah, it's very solid, mate. Yeah, no problems really with it. And there's very little RNG. I think it's probably the safest bet. I've seen a few stray comments from people though that have been like, this build's terrible, I've tried it and tried it. I think those people are just having like really bad RNG, so I don't know what's going wrong, but most of the time if you follow the instructions in the raid guide, there is going to be those really extreme scenarios where things do go a little bit wrong, but for the most part builds that I put up do work, so hopefully it helps out, mate. Tara, that reminds me, thanks for the Mew build. I got it with 3 people with Electroses. Nice, awesome, mate, awesome. And you're welcome. I'm pleased the Mew build helped out. Mew's a nice one for it. I feel like it was the one I ran through it most with. Aside from Bellibolt, just trying it over and over and over again. And I'd have like 4 raids in a row where it would just work. And I'd be like, okay, this is good, you know. Without Intimidators as well, a lot of the time. And I'd be like, you don't even need the Intimidator support. And then I'd have other raids where it would just absolutely flop. And you'd be like, huh. So I give up on it in the end. And I thought, well, there's the Electros and the Mew. There's 2 really easy options. Depending on where you are in your game, you're going to be able to at least get one of those, you know. Mr. Browser, good morning. How are you doing? Good to see you as well, mate. Don't forget, chat, leave a like. Brad Dad coming in, thank you so much for the reminder, mate. I do appreciate it as always. Been on a bit of a TCG spin recently with I'm trying to figure out because Rich keeps kindly tagging me in the draws on X for Pokemon stock. I don't know what the account is, but I'm so curious. I really would like to pick up an Prismatic Evolutions Premium Collection for my collection, but I'm not feeling super hopeful that I'll be able to pick one up, and I don't know when the release date is. I'm sure it's like in a week or two's time, but the way everything's gone, it feels like it's going to be an impossible task to get one, but we'll see. I think they'll reprint them. I'm hoping they do, and then I'll be able to pick one up like it did the 151 Ultra Premium Collection, and then just got to be patient. Rich, man, if I can make Electros work, then anyone can. Mate, no, don't say that. You're underselling yourself. You are. Tried it with Carbink, but my Carbink had such low attack and special attack that I run out of time. That's frustrating as well, isn't it? Because I feel like Carbink's definitely one of those that you just, it makes such perfect sense for the raid as well. You've got the dragon immunity, you've got the fire resist for that heat wave at the start. You've got really good stab attacks as well to take advantage of against the Salamence. It just feels like it would be so perfect against it, but sometimes it's just frustrating that those perfect Pokemon just don't match up to the raid itself. I was quite surprised of the set, to be honest. I kind of sold myself that it was going to have Hurricane and go down that route, but Terrablast, I think it's only the second raid boss we've had with Terrablast. I think Infernip was the other one, and then Salamence is the next one that we've had. I could be wrong, there could have been another one in between there, but I feel like Terrablast isn't one of those moves that's used too often. But they're making them pretty tough, which is good in one way, in one respect. It's nice to see, like, the difficulty levels. They're not easy raids to like overcome immediately, but that's kind of cool. I made me build when I missed the first Salamence drop and then missed the second one because of Sedenchik, I'm so sorry you missed it. Hopefully, you know, I think I keep saying it, I think once they get through the cycle, I have a feeling that they're going to do something similar what they did with Sword and Shield, where they, you know, I don't know if you guys know, but with the Gigantamax raids that they did in Sword and Shield at the end of the cycle before we got to Scarlet and Violet, or was it Legends Arceus came out, BDSP time maybe, they did one final Dynamax raid event, and it was basically the raid dens. You could encounter any of the previous Gigantamax Pokemon in this event, but it was random, so they'd cycle on like a carousel almost. Every time you clicked into the den, it would be random, but it'd be one of the previous events that they'd done. So I'd imagine they might do something similar to that with the 7-star raid Pokemon before we move into like Gen 10. Which is exciting, but before Gen 10 we got ZA. No news just yet, which is, I was expecting more like little tidbits, and I know it's not been that long since we've had like the last trailer with the Nintendo Direct, but it would be nice if we just had little, like the hype season would be a bit more. I feel like I just want more info about these games that are coming up very soon, but I'll have to wait. I'd imagine July will probably be the next, June, July maybe, we might get something. Maybe. James, sadly I haven't gotten started with the Raikou yet. I'm still trying to get the Totodile and Silver, so then go get the hunt set up in Hot Gold. Still hunting Slowpoke. Still hunting Slowpoke. It's still not showing up. Man, that is some stubborn Slowpoke. I really hope that you have some luck soon with both of those water types. And Tom, I give them credit where it's due. They've made the terror raids more challenging so far. Thanks for helping us with your methods. As always, Tom, you're more than welcome. Thank you for the support as well, just watching the videos, and, you know, I'm just pleased that the builds have been helpful, my friend, and I hope the future ones continue to be. A little sad that we've not got one to take on this week, but I imagine with how this Golden Week event is running and ending on the Thursday next week, I think we'll probably have the follow-up of the next one, which I'm banking on it being Metagross if they're going in generation order, but it might be a total curveball. we could see anything. It'd be fun. Any of them would be good though, but I feel like Metagross is going to be a really, really tough one. With Clear Body as its ability, it's going to be nasty. Because we're not going to be able to lower its stats at all, so we're relying heavily on us being able to boost our stats. It's going to have Meteor Mash, I would imagine, as well, so it's going to have those stray like attack boosts randomly throughout the raid. We're not going to be able to mitigate those at all. I think Haze is probably going to be like the first thing that comes to my mind. I would say probably a Haze user to take advantage of like being able to just get rid of the attack buffs that Metagross is going to go for. At least we don't have to worry about a special physical split in that one. It's just going to be pure physical. Just wonder what its Terra type will be. Probably go something random, like just, well, not random, probably Psychic could be a good one for it. My battling skills are non-existent. How's your Bologna build coming up together? I haven't even started, mate. I haven't started really, because I feel like I've been dipping in and out of the new regulation and keeping up with like the grassroots stuff, but I haven't committed to it properly myself yet. I kind of want to wait for that first regional and then I think just take a deep dive into it then. I'll probably play the global challenge, which is this. Is it this week or is the sign-ups this week? I think, and it's the following week. So I'll play that. But I'll probably not make a proper start on that team. I don't know. I'd say probably after Utrecht. And then I'll dive into it properly then. So we'll see how it goes. I still feel like it's going to be, you know, I've got to feel confident about it, but obviously I haven't made a start yet, so I can't really be too confident, you know. But I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be the last EU event of the season, and it's in Bologna, so what could be better? What could be better? Right, Dad. Right, let's see. Don't know if I just had terrible RNG, if I had missed a detail about it, but Salamence kept resetting my stats at the end of the raid. Lost 3 in a row because my attack just disappeared. That's strange because it only like it nullifies your stats twice in the raid, and I think it's like 85% of the raid timer, and then it sets up the shield after that, and then shortly after that again, I want to say on when it hits a certain increment in its HP, I think that's when it resets your stats again, and then after that it doesn't reset your stats at all. It resets its stats on about 44%, or was it 45%? It's a weird number, but it only does that once, so that's super strange interaction. I don't know, must be like, it sounds like it's like glitching out. We definitely don't want that nickname. We've had at least something, albeit small, every month since Pokemon Day. I'm hoping there's something in May too. That's actually quite true. Like, looking at it, I feel like I'm like, when you put it in perspective like that, I am definitely being a bit more greedy. I'm like, I just want more and more and more. But you're right, we have had something since Pokemon Day. We've had something every month, so maybe we get something else, you know, and that would be a good hype schedule. I think like if they're gonna do that every month, we get something small and then it increases and starts getting bigger and bigger every month. That would be kind of nice to see. Right, that I wish. I don't know what restricted pairing I want to take. I don't know whether like I just go down the standard route. I don't know. I feel like Terrapagos Calyrex could be something that Shadow Rider Calyrex Terrapagos could be something that I would probably like a lot. But then I don't know. I'll have to play around with some stuff and just see what vibes with me when I'm practicing. Probably could get rid of it with skill swap. I hope it's fighting Terra type. A Slowbro would be a good shout. Yeah, that's actually a good call. The skill swap's probably really good, especially with the Slowbro as well. If it doesn't have an Earthquake, you could go Galarian Slowbro, which would be skill swap, and then you've got the Acid Spray as well. If it's not Steel Terra type, of course, that would be the big caveat there. So the Acid Spray, it would still not work if it was Steel type, but that could be an option. Oh, have I not even picked it up from this hate that this one here is slower. The actual cartridge is super slow. Let's check this one while we're waiting. Nope. Dratini. No. No, we didn't want a mild or a naive nature anyway. Mighty. If Lee doesn't know, I got the rarest version of Shining Pearl 1.00 and decides to make my playthrough extra special by getting a shiny Piplup. Named it Kowalski. I love it, mate. That is amazing. Congrats on picking up that rare version. The version that I'm looking for is the, I think it's 1.1.2, because that has the expansion. I think I've got that one. So it's the 0.2 on the end that you need for Brilliant Diamond, Shining Pearl. That has all the extras that they added in with the updates, but it's between 0.2 and 0.3 is where they basically remove Shaman in 0.3 update, so you can't go into the void and then access Shaman. But if you have like 1.1.2, I think that is the version, then you can access the Shaman and Shiny Hunt it without Oak's Letter, and it's like legitimate way of doing it. Obviously, I mean, the grey line of using the void glitch to get it in the first place is something that you'd have to, it's questionable, but you don't need an external device to do it. That is the version that you kind of want to pick up, because 1.3 you are able to go to encounter to where the Shaman is, but the Shaman's just not there. They remove it, which is really annoying. I suppose there is little time yet and feel out what people are playing between now and then. That's the other thing. I think it's good to see what teams and how the format's kind of shaping up as well before I start like dedicating a lot of time to a team itself, because I think I'd probably prefer to go in with something that I feel is going to be a positive matchup into the majority of things. Like Zama, Calyrex are the big players at the minute. I mean, that's a big team, isn't it? But there's a lot of other stuff that's kind of creeping out the woodwork, like Koraidon, Lunala, Koraidon, Terrapagos is another one. So it's going to see what's kind of sticking in the format closer to the time and then go from there. So we'll see, Rich, but I'll hopefully be confident. I know what it's going to be like. I know the kind of the swings going into the event, what it's always like playing, and it's always the same, you know. Even if I don't play as regularly as I used to back in the day, I know I'm going to get to the week before the event and have second thoughts all the way through. Even if I've decided my team and been like the week 2 weeks before, I'll be like, right, I'm sold, I've done my prep for it, I feel good with this team. I know that week leading up and the days going up to the tournament, I'll be second guessing. I'll be looking at all these different options to get around different issues that I think I might see in the tournament. And I just need to, I always try and remind myself, I need to just be like, okay, stick with what you had the week before, because you're comfortable with it. You've put the reps in with it, so you know that's going to work. And then just go from there. But we'll see. Best laid plans and all. Grace, how are you doing? Champ. Grace, good morning. I hope you're well. Had a good weekend. Good result against Bournemouth yesterday. Squeak that draw. Looking good though, progressing in the Europa Cup. So into the semi-finals. You've definitely got the harder draw, I think, out of you and Tottenham. But looking good for that Champions League spot. We'll see how you get on in this next one. Bilbao going to be a really, really tough game. Probably the toughest one. Spurs and Ange get to go to Norway for a tie. Matt, good morning, mate. I hope you're well. Great to see you as always. Power, I hope we get to use a Pokemon with entrainment against Metagross. That'd be kind of cool. There's Araquanid could be a decent option if it's Psychic Terra typing. That gets entrainment. The water bubble's not really going to help out too much there, but there's definitely a few options. Depends on its Terra typing now, for sure. We're flying through these resets, fingers crossed. Oh mate, if we get it today, that would be amazing, wouldn't it? It would be so good. So I don't know, I mentioned to you guys, I've been working on a really big video for the channel, and I kind of got to the point where I was like pretty much finished the hunts for it, and then decided to go. I was like, okay, I can't have this many. I wanted to cut down the amount of ones I got, the easy ones I got in Scarlet and Violet, and I was like, okay, let's flesh this out a bit. So I decided to go a different route with it, and I've been finishing off. Now I'm down to just needing 4, which is, and I think it's gonna make the video even more epic than it was before. The basic premise was I didn't want to use any Masuda method hunts for it, so no breeding, and I could only get every single mega Pokemon shiny using Switch games. So I could only use my Switch to go and get them, and I don't want to get too many of them in Scarlet and Violet, which I feel like I had done. So I cut that down a little bit and then made it harder on myself, and I put some other rules in place where I was like, okay, if I'm going to get stuff from Legends Arceus, I can't catch anything from these games shiny unless, like, it won't count unless it's an alpha Pokemon. So that made it even more difficult, but it's made the video an experience, and the story, I think, of it all way more epic, and I feel really excited about getting this video out. I want to get it up before Utrecht, so that's like mid-May, but I don't know if I'm being a bit too ambitious with that. We'll see. I'll be working religiously hard as much as I can to get it up as soon as possible, but thumbs all done. It's just basically the last few bits of footage that I need. Script's pretty much underway, so that needs finishing off, and then it'll just be editing, piecing it together, which I'm very excited about. Been attended this semis, yes, yeah, that's true, mate. Yeah, out of the blue, and the Giratina, mate, that Giratina, that was wild. I tuned in for the start of the stream on Saturday morning when Costa and Marcus the show off, and that game was on, so that was really cool. And I loved Marcus's reaction to it as well. It was definitely a throwback. I got the reference straight away. It's wild, and it's not the only time as well. 2010, Giratina was in the finals of the UK National Championship, so Reese versus Dale, because I faced Reese in the semis and lost, and then Reese went on, and Reese's Giratina against Dale's Giratina in the final. They're pretty similar teams. Reese's Giratina crit Dale's on turn 2, which locked up the game. And back then it was only best of 1 in the finals, so that pretty much sealed the match right there and then. So pretty crazy. So Giratina's got like this habit of critting its way through. Maybe it's a sign. Maybe that's what we just need to use Giratina a bit more in competitive. Mighty, thank you so much for the super chat, mate. I really appreciate it. If you're wondering, Papa Hefe has great tutorials on getting shinies without hacks and mods. Papa Hefe has a lot of really useful content, especially, yeah, for all the RNG stuff. I mean, them and I'm a Blessy are just the go-tos, I feel, with all that sort of stuff. Jill, good morning. How are you doing? Thank you for the good luck, mate, and I hope you're having a great start to your week. Tob, how are you doing, mate? Did you manage to pre-order Nintendo Switch 2? Heard a lot about how difficult it is to get them now. I feel pretty fortunate. Yeah, I got into the qualification emails that Nintendo did. They sent out because of the playtime and having an online account and stuff like that, so it was pretty seamless on my end. Have managed to pick one up. Very excited about eventually getting it. So but yeah, I feel really lucky considering since then I've all I see is like how difficult it's been for other people around the rest of the world to pick them up. So but have managed to get one, so secured. I feel it's secured. I've had the confirmation of Nintendo that it's pre-ordered, so I'm hoping it all stays that way. Gravy Alexia, how are we doing today? You missed nothing so far other than a bunch of checks and no pink Dratini just yet. Just yet, I said just yet because it is gonna come soon. Giratina was really bulky boy. Yeah, Marcus Rex was great. Yeah, Giratina, it's weird as well because that's it. I haven't really seen too many calm minds in Regulation G. And back in 2010, it kind of started off as a scarf. So you would scarf it, you would use Shadow Force, you would just burn through your opponents pretty easily because the power creep back then was nothing like it is now. But then later on, the calm mindset became way more popular. So it was kind of nice to see the calm mindset doing well. This girl, how are you doing? Out of the Electros and Mew builds, which one would you recommend to 7-star Salamence? I would recommend, if you got Mew, I would go Mew. To be honest, I feel like it's a bit more consistent. The Electros is fine. It is fine and it will do the job, but if you're given me the option, I would always pick Mew. I meant to tell you earlier, I found a shiny Geodude in Heart Gold last weekend as I was running around collecting apricorns. James, that's awesome, mate. Congrats. That is such a cool one to find in those games. I'm sad that we let ours in this game go down and get knocked out. We can no longer use it in this run, but it was a cool. I think it's one of the quickest full odd shinies I'll ever find. Just over 100 encounters, which is just absolutely mad. How about the rest of you though? Did you guys have you managed, if you're picking one up like on release, have you managed to secure a Nintendo Switch 2? And like, what's the experience been like of like pre-ordering you guys? Has it been easy or has it been an absolute nightmare like a lot of people have had? Which is just, I mean, it feels like it's a better scenario than like the PlayStation. So, you know, or like PS5 when that dropped, like that seems like it was a way worse scenario, but it seems better than that. Still not great though, I feel. Reminded me of Nugget. I hope you nicknamed it Nugget. What was the nickname? Or have you not bothered giving nicknames, James? Matt, I pre-ordered in the UK via Curry's install method only 2 days ago, and they appeared to have an okay amount of allocation remaining. So if you're struggling online, try popping into your local Curry's. That's a great suggestion, mate, and pleased that you've managed to secure one as well. That is awesome to hear, mate. Riley, good morning. How are you doing, mate? Hope you're well. How's your weekend been? Managed to finish all members of the Ruby. You got it. You got the Registeel. 5,039 encounters, and after almost an hour, I caught an hour. Oh man, that must have been the most stressful hour of your life. Now working on my Living 3 Dex for the vid 2. That's awesome, mate. That is so cool. I'm pleased you got the Registeel in like such a reasonable amount of encounters as well. I feel like you deserve it after the goose hunt, which was just the most obscene hunt I've ever heard of. You definitely, yeah, you banked some luck with that. So right, come on. Oh no, we want to stop talking to you, old man. Okay, no genie there. And since it was on Gen 4 mood, I resumed my shiny Darkrai hunt and Brilliant Diamond. This Sinister Nightmare Bringer looks fabulous in purple. It's such a nice shiny, isn't it? I think that's one of the only ones I did in my copy of Brilliant Diamond using the blink method. It's the only time I've ever tried that RNG method, but it was a lot of fun doing it. And that was using Papa Hefe's guide. But yeah, it didn't take that long at all to get, to be honest, to hit the seed. It was it's a really fun game to go in and do RNG manips on. It was easy here. I secured mine only like 4 to 5 hours after the Switch 2 Direct. Wow, Terra, that's amazing. So locking it up early. That's great to hear. Are we all gonna have like some crazy huge Mario Kart online play when it drops? Assuming everyone's got Mario Kart as well. Jazzy Girl. Question: have you got any spare shiny Mew left so I can have another, as I don't want to change the build on the first Mew giveaway? Well, I do plan to do a members only giveaway one stream. We'll probably squeeze it in someday this week, I think, for the Deoxys, for those that haven't got it, to pick one of those up. And there is a few Mews left over as well, so I'm not gonna port any more Mews up, and unless I desperately need any more Deoxys, I probably won't do that as well, just because of the time that it takes to like, I've done one more batch of Deoxys, but it's just such a grind to get them all the way through the different generations, because you're going through like 4 different games to get them up to Pokemon Home, which is just, yeah, it's just so time consuming. And with the video that I'm doing at the minute, I feel like I need to be putting most of my time into that to be editing. So maybe once that's up, if I do have a bit more time after Bologna and there's still people that want them, I'll do it before bank closes, because I still feel like we got a little bit more time with bank before it does go down. The Switch 2, have fun with all the cool Switch 2 stuff. I'm stuck waiting like a responsible adult until later in the year for my birthday. Even mate, that is the way to do it. That is the way to do it. I feel like if I didn't have content to do for stuff on it, I wouldn't pick one up straight away. I would do what you're doing. I probably wait to see when ZA is going to drop, and then maybe coincide getting ZA with the Switch 2 as well later in the year, because I feel like there'll be deals on the system then, you know, closer to Christmas as well, holidays. It's going to be a better time to pick it up. It's never the best to pick it up like day one, really. Like, if you're looking to like get a better deal, it's just not. So you're doing the smart thing, mate, definitely, and you're not going to miss out too much on anything. I think the DK game, which you're definitely gonna enjoy, just something to look forward to, so don't worry about it. Don't worry about it, mate. I think you're doing the most sensible thing. And yeah, like, you know, Zia, even if you don't pick it up for Zia and Zia drops like earlier in the year and you want to play that, you just get the Switch 1 game and then upgrade it to the Switch 2 version when you do pick one up. There's a part of me that's kind of tempted to buy the Switch 1 version, because I don't feel like the Switch 2 version of ZA will play on the Switch 1. So there's a part of me that's like, do I just pick up the Switch 1 version of ZA and then just pay for the upgrade so I can play it on both my Switch and my Switch 2? I feel like that's the smarter choice. It just depends how much money it is between the two versions, because it's like, well, if it's going to cost me like a boatload to do that, then it doesn't make much sense. But we'll see closer to the time. I think I'm hoping we get the release date soon. You would hope, like, if we get a drop of news for ZA in May, maybe we get the release date. Maybe. But we might have to wait till like closer to the time, to August, for that. Both Registeel and Clampo were under odds. It felt so wrong after the goose, but I'll take it to the bank pile. Just heads up, still no EUIC package. Surely soon there. It should be with you soon, mate. I will check the track, and I need to send that over to you as well, mate. So I will dig that out after today's stream. But yeah, I think like the Clamperl and the Registeel, you shouldn't feel anything other than that they were deserved under odds for sure. After the Zangoose, like, literally, I don't know how you stuck with it, mate. It's just, I will take my hat off to you for that. Do you have a favorite Pokemon? Funko Pop at the moment, my favorites are Greninja and Lucario. I don't really collect any of the Funko Pop stuff. I just feel like there's too many of them, and I would just never finish the collection. I do like looking at them when I'm out and about in different stores and stuff. If I had a favorite one, Lucario one sounds very cool. Do they ever do like shiny versions of them? I'd definitely be interested in picking up those. I did like there was one I saw recently. It was like a giant Bulbasaur. That would be a very cool one to on. That I feel like if there was any that I would get the giant ones. The big Bulbasaur. The big Bulbasaur, Squirtle, and Charmander would be a really cool display thing to have. Who is the owner of the Shiny Ray? The Shiny Ray? Which Shiny Ray? Is it the one you traded? I still have that. I'm keeping that. If that's the one you mean. Matt, good morning, mate. How are you doing today? I hope you're good. Having a good start to your week, my friend. Great to see you as always. Working on Shiny Horn Living Dex and used I'm a Blissey's guide, getting pretty close. Wow, that's amazing, mate. That is awesome. I bet that's like cutting the time, because like doing that Shiny Living Dex for Gen 3, that's absolutely nuts. That is going to be such a trophy. Like that cartridge, when that is complete, that's going to be absolutely amazing, mate. What an accomplishment, though. Because you got to think, like, such a harder task to do it in any of those older games than it is in anything like more modern, you know? So that is very, very cool. I'd love to see if you share any pics or anything when you get it all finished. I'd love to be able to kind of have a look and see it in action. Be very cool though. Are you going to keep them on the cart? Or are you going to like trade? Do you plan to trade them up to home, or just keep them immortalized on the cart that you caught them on? Did you get every Pokemon that can Mega? I have, but I went back to do harder hunts to make the video a little bit more. I make the experience a little bit more, I don't know, satisfying for myself, I feel. There was a few that I'd done in Scarlet and Violet. I'm like, why didn't I do these in other games? I've done so many. There's a few that I can only do in Scarlet and Violet for sure, so they're fine. And for the length of the video and for my sanity as well, I did get a majority in Scarlet and Violet, but I didn't want to get over. I wouldn't go. I said to myself, like, don't go over 50%. So there's 47, 48 if you're including the doubles of stuff like Charmander. You need 2 Charmanders and 2 Mewtwo's, which I've went and done, but I was like, I can't get the same Pokemon from like the same game, so I can't catch 2 Charmanders. If I got 1 in Scarlet and Violet, I couldn't catch another one in Scarlet and Violet for like Charizard X and Charizard, but I had to go. These are rules I implemented for myself to make it a bit more of an experience and a bit more challenging. So I wanted to cut down a few more of the Scarlet and Violet hunts and make them a little bit more tricky. So I'm finishing those. I've got like 3 to do. 2 of them are going to be pretty straightforward. The one that I'm doing at the minute is not so, but I said before as well that if anything that I got on Legends Arceus, I wouldn't be able to keep for the challenge that I'm doing unless it was an alpha shiny. So I think that made it a little bit more epic as well. So it's gonna be a cool video. I'm really excited about getting it finished, but it's not quite there yet. But it's gonna be hopefully good when it's done. And there's lots of twists and turns in it as well. So, and it spans. So I started it on September the 1st, 2024. So, it's been a long grind, on and off. Pretty much pouring as many hours as I can and have done into it since starting it. So, yeah. And I didn't use any Dynamax Adventure raids. But there was a few hunts that I could only do in Scarlet and Violet, which was fun. But I don't want to spoil too much for the video. I want to kind of leave some stuff in there because I think it'd be good to watch, and it makes it gives me an extra view. If you're interested now and you're like, I'll watch it, so it helps out. And I don't want to spoil the story. It's been wild, about 130 hours deep. Wow, Matt, that's crazy. That is crazy. That's amazing, mate. How many have you got left to get in Discord so I can post them? That is awesome. Please tag me when you get it all done. I'd love to see them. Do you think we'll get limited edition ZA Switch 2? Oh, I mean, that would be the dream, and that's the other problem with picking Switch 2 up on release date if we do see like a limited edition. I can imagine they're going to do it. They did it for Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee, so it's like this is a... In general, this is a bigger game for, like, in retrospect. If you're putting them side by side, you would expect the new Legends game to be a bigger game than the Let's Go games. So I'd imagine they'll do an exclusive Switch 2 version for it, yeah. And that's the problem without picking a Switch 2 up on release date, because I'm not going to go out and get another Switch, even though I'd probably like it if it was like all Zygarde patterns and stuff like that. It's just, I'm not going to do it as much as I would like to, because it just feels so wasteful. So that's another good reason why to hold off. I would imagine they will, but of course there's no guarantees to it, so who knows. But I feel like they would miss such a trick. It's like just such easy money, printing money if you do it, because people are going to buy it, you know. And I would imagine Nintendo are probably going to be like, can we do an exclusive Switch version? Can this be the first one that we do? Just to sell a few more units before Christmas. It's almost like a banker, isn't it? Especially if they do it right. So then, chick, I mean, I told you I found a new home. I thought you traded it away. No, I've never traded the Rayquaza away, mate. I'm keeping that. No, I wouldn't. No, that's the stuff that you guys traded me. I've got that in the special box. So that's they're Pokemon that are going nowhere. Like I said at the time, a lot of the stuff I'll be able to use in competitive play. So if I do build stuff with those Pokemon, I'll definitely be using them. I really appreciate the effort and time that you've taken to get those Pokemon and then trade them over. So I want to send them forward since I'm trying to ribbon master some. Oh wow, that's even cooler, mate. That is very cool. Yeah, we've been talking recently. Riley's been trying to persuade me, and I think I'm convinced that we do a ribbon master quest after this little series is finished in Soul Silver, and we start in Colosseum, we go for a Totodile, and then we ribbon master it ready for ZA dropping. So that's going to be a really fun little challenge to do, which I'm hoping the Dratini can drop soon so we can move on to the next hunt and then get ourselves closer. And like, I'm not wishing away this playthrough because I've really enjoyed doing the shiny only run in this game. It's been so much fun, but at the same time we're on a timer for like bank as well, so it's one of those where I'm like, oh, we need to kind of hurry up a little bit, get started with these other things before bank goes down. Zia will be the first game I actually want for the Switch 2, so I won't get burned by buying the basic one early. If they just don't, I'll wait past Zia release date to wait for the Switch 2. That's, yeah, I think that's definitely the better way to approach it, especially if ZA is going to be the only game that you're really looking at right now to pick up to play. Use it as Mega Rare would be fun. Yes, Mega Rare. Being a gamer is like being a gambler at time. 100%. 100%. I always say that shiny hunting is a bit like being a gambler as well, without actually having the lot. Well, the loss is your time basically, but otherwise it is very similar in a lot of ways. I always think of that, but you're right. Ton, good morning. How are you, mate? I'm doing good this morning. It's nice to be back streaming this. So it's great to see everyone as well and catch up with you all. I'm hoping we get a little bit lucky with this Dratini this morning. It makes it so much easier having the two carts on the go at the same time, just to get through the resets a little bit quicker. But hope you're doing well, mate, and having a good start to your week. As always, great to see you. Just out of curiosity, for those who haven't picked up a Deoxys yet, what kind of day would be better this week to do it? Isn't Croconaw the one you can catch a Colosseum? Yeah, it would be Croconaw, yeah. You're right. It's not Totodile. So it would be Croconaw. I think Riley's convinced me as well to finish the game and get it in the post game where it's a bit easier to obtain as well, which I think probably is the better thing to do, because otherwise the resets in the early game, if you're getting it, are really long, and just to speed things up, it probably is better to do it post game, and then we can play through it as well, because I haven't played through that game and it feels like forever. Is that how much Pokemon box is, Riley? 2K? That's crazy. That is absolutely nuts. I know some copies of Colosseum came with Pokemon box, didn't they? They had like the bonus disc of Pokemon box with it. It was included. Unfortunately, the copy I have does not. It's just the standard. I do have the memory card though, the Colosseum memory card. I think it's like 15 megabits you get, which is like nothing now when you think about it. Crazy. How does that fit anything on it? Thursday or Friday would be good. Okay, cool. Probably Friday would be the better one. I think Thursday is a bit stacked of a day. Can't stream through the day, and then we've got the stream with Charlie on the Thursday evening, and then once that's finished, I'll be pretty much going straight into sorting out. Not this week, actually. No, I will have a video to do for the Gimmighoul event, to do for that going live. So and then Friday, maybe Friday. No, it won't be. It'll be Wednesday this week, so that event goes live Wednesday. So maybe Thursday, maybe. Pokemon box would be awesome to own. It's just so expensive. I didn't realize it was so expensive. Yeah, that's crazy. I feel like I had it once upon a time as well, you know, and I could just be making this up in my mind. It could be just, you know, seeing so many listings on eBay and convincing myself that back in day I had a copy of it. I don't think I did, but I may have done. Yeah, Riley, I think we're gonna go for the Croc. I think it's a good choice, and I think we play through the game, because like, how long does it take roughly to play through? It would be what, maybe a few streams to play through the entire game. It'd be fun to play through it as well, and I think we just, like you said, we just avoid that trainer that has the Croconaut, and we encounter it in the post game, which makes it so much easier to get. Is that just because we can Master Ball it rather than have to weaken it and then use a Great Ball, which I think is the only option in the early game? But it's also game prices and such have been burned before by buying game and then costs coming down. Also being burned the other way. Yeah, that's so true. Yeah, it's so difficult to like judge and make a call, you know, with games and stuff like that. I'm looking at the minute at picking up a copy of Legends Arceus, and you can get it brand new for like £35, like sealed everything, for Thea, because I'm like, she's seen me playing it recently and being like really interested in it. I think the type of game it is probably a little bit better than maybe Scarlet and Violet, which she really enjoys, but I was like, wow, I can't believe how cheap it is for that game. The amount of hours that you would spend in that game as well, it's like really good bang for your buck. But then you look at other games, I think, what was it I've got, is it the Super Mario 3D All-Stars? Is that the one? It's got the 3 games on it. So it's got Galaxy, Sunshine, and something else. And I picked that up on a whim because I'd never played Galaxy properly on the GameCube, and I don't have it for my GameCube. But Marcus, we were casting an event, and Marcus was telling me, he was like, dude, this is like the coolest Mario game. You've got to play it. I played it like so much when I was younger, and I was like, wow, this sounds like a really cool game. So when that dropped, I was like, I'm gonna pick that up, and so I've got it. But if you want to get that now, it's like impossible. It's like so expensive. So yeah, it can work like just crazy ways. And like with XD Gales of Darkness, I would love to own that for the GameCube. And thankfully it's coming to the Switch online service, but it's like one of those where I'm never going to own that game just because it's just so expensive. Just very sad, very sad. But hopefully we get more situations with the like virtual console like updates, or we get, you know, the online service, they bring these older games to the Switch too. I'm hoping anyway. We need the Virtual Console update for the Switch too. It's gotta happen. It's gotta happen. I don't know how many more like Nintendo or Pokemon Directs we can have over the next 2 or 3 years, where every single one is gonna be, this has got to be the one where they're dropping the Virtual Console games. This is gonna be it. This is gonna be it. And it's like that roundabout every single time we go into it, and it's like, it does make sense if they drop it now, but they never do. They always leave us hanging. They've got that carrot just waiting for when things are like going bad. Maybe if ZA sells really bad and they're like, we need to pull in some cash quickly, maybe they're just using that as like the gambit to be like, okay, this can pull us in a bunch of money. We know we're going to be able to make loads of sales with this. So yeah, who knows? Black and white second hand in CX for like 50 quid. That's black and white as well. Just black and white. Not even talking about trying to get black and white 2. Stretch Super Mario 3D All Stars was easily available in Norway years after it got listed. Wow, that's cool. I know here, like if you look at listings on eBay, it's crazy expensive. I never even realized how expensive it was. I can't remember who I was talking to. They were like, you've got that game? And I was like, yeah, I picked it up on release. They were like, it's like impossible to get. So I never even realized that it was like a difficult game to get, because I swear I'd seen it like in just stores when I'd been out about, obviously not recently to that conversation. Riley, Gale of Darkness is my next game to play through for my live index. Gonna get my Lucia. Mate, that's gonna be a lot of fun. So when you finish the Dream Team quest, when you've done that all, you're moving into Gales of Darkness. That's very cool, mate. Sasogi, how are we doing? I hope you're well, mate. Great to see you as always. Hope you're having a good start to your week. And okay, let's just go through them all like this. We can see all the nice shinies, except the Dratini, which is not. Matt, don't think so. But maybe I'm looking at probably ribbon mastering my Battle Frontier team when I get them prepped. That is very cool. This is the one where we will get the Unova remaster. That would be cool, you know. I'm kind of sad that we still haven't had like that remake yet. It's gotta come. It's gotta come. I wonder if they'll drop it for the in that 30th anniversary year. It feels a bit weird if they do in the lead up to Gen 10, but Gen 10 has to be next November, like 2026. Has to be. It would just feel so weird if we don't get it that then, and it's another year on. The only downside of XD and Colosseum being the Switch Online app is that they might not get Pokemon Home compatibility. I know, that's my worry about it as well. It's like, please, just for once, just make them home compatible. It would be such a cool feature, and especially now with, I think, how Home's set up, where how the moves interact when you're moving Pokemon around. It doesn't really matter about like old moves that aren't available now, because Home kind of takes care of that when you're trading it into that new game. Those moves are automatically removed, so those Pokemon are legitimized when they go into that game for whatever use. I think it's a really cool way to use it. With the GameCube Virtual Console, it'll be the first time I'll be paying for higher Nintendo tier subscriptions, simply because I never owned a GameCube and couldn't get them for the Wii, so finally can play them. That's going to be very exciting, Jay. What you're looking forward to playing most? I think at the moment I'm like Wind Waker all the way. Wind Waker is going to be something I cannot wait to play. And I guess it's another reason why picking up a Switch 2 on release date. I don't know when the GameCube Virtual Console will be available. I don't think it'll be straight away, but hopefully it's not too long after the Switch 2 releases. You'll be able to get it. Lumpy, how are you doing? Champione. Yes, mate. Congratulations. It's been locked up. I thought it would have been done way before now, but it's still early. It's still like, yeah, I mean, it feels like one of those where it's like everyone's been like, we know it's going to happen. It's been on the cards for ages, but it's finally happened. And yeah, Liverpool, well-deserved winners this year. Definitely the best team in the league by a country mile. So it's been nice to see finally doing it in such style as well against Spurs yesterday. tonkin you give them to do it. So now all that needs to happen is Newcastle just need to lock up those Champions League places. I think if we beat Brighton down at their place, I think that pretty much all but does it. So we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. But Toon Army still in for the race for Champions League. I think that's yeah, be a perfect season if we can lock that up all around. And I was so surprised at Palace getting through as well, which was just nuts. I didn't expect them to beat Villa. They're in the final. Be nice to see them win the cup. So on the Switch, you can connect a GameCube controller to play Smash. In Colosseum XD, you can connect your GBA via the GameCube controller port. There's a world. You can use the GBA mons in the Virtual Console. That is interesting. I'm gonna try that, yeah, because if we've got that, would be cool to play using the converter to play with my GBA. Would I be able to play with my GBA as a controller on those games? That's the question. Alex, how are you doing? Anyway, wish me luck for that Lunala hunt. Me and my friend stayed up to 2 a.m. to complete their deck. Oh, wow, Alex, that's crazy, mate. Good dedication, though. You know what? It's so worth it. Getting the decks finished, getting that shiny charm is going to make the hunt so much easier for you, mate. And really, yeah, sending you all the good luck vibes for that one. Lunala is one of those absolute banger shinies as well. Such a cool one to get. I really hope it comes very soon and you get it early on in those Dynamax Adventure raids. You'll have to keep us up to date with how it's going. Traded for a bunch of Apra balls in BDSP to swarm radar hunt with. All my swarms so far have been Jankmons. Story of my life, David. I can totally relate to that, mate. I was waiting, I think for a month. I checked because I wanted to hunt Absol. It's one of the hunts that I needed for the video. One of the mega Pokemon. It's only available in Sword and Shield and BDSP in swarms. I mean, you could go and hunt for it in the underground, but no one wants to do that, right? I'm not collecting Diglets for a 2-minute shiny boost. So I was like, okay, hopefully I get lucky with a swarm, and it just never came. So I give up in the end and went into Sword and Shield just to get it in there, which actually turned out not to be that obnoxious of a hunt. I really actually enjoyed most of the hunts I did in Sword and Shield. They were all overworld hunts. There was one exception to that. I'll leave that for the video though, which pretty much I will never ever. It's been the only hunt I've give up on. I give up on it after all. But yeah, Marcus, how are you doing? Finally I caught you, mate. It's great to see you as always. How are you doing? What's been happening, mate? And hope you had a good weekend, having a good start to the week as well. Great to see you though. I doubt Colosseum and Gales of Darkness will support the GBA link cable through the GameCube adapter. That would be my worry, you know. I would be like clutching there. But imagine if it did. Imagine if it did. That would be very cool. Because I love playing like the GBA games on the Game Boy player, using my GBA as the controller rather than the GameCube controller. It's just a cool experience. Mainly Colosseum, XD, and Fire Emblem games, so Pikmin if we get them. Yeah, that's true. I imagine we will. We'll definitely get that first Pikmin game. It's like be such a missed opportunity if they don't. Firemen, are you excited for Regulation I? Good morning to you. I hope you're having a good Monday. I am excited for Regulation I. I like double restricted as a format. I think as well, it's kind of exciting with how Regulation G's ended. Like we've seen the last European regional just happen this last weekend in Seville. And I feel like Regulation G felt like one of those formats where it was getting really boring and stale and everything had been figured out and nothing was really going to change with it. So we just go through the motions until the new regulation, the new format kicked in, and then it's been one of the most exciting like portions of Regulation G, I think, where we've had all these like crazy teams come out of the woodwork and different cores come up and win events and stuff like that. So it makes it more exciting, I think, for Regulation I in that respect, because of the different combinations that you can have with those dual restricted Pokemon. So yeah, very excited for it. Got Utrecht, which is our first European regional, with that rule set coming up in like 3 weeks time, which is going to be awesome. And then of course that'll take us into Bologna after that, and then there'll be NAIC. But I think there's a bunch of, I think Atlanta is the US regional with the first one to get the new rule set. But yeah, how about yourself? Hope you're looking forward to it as well. If you are, what restricted duo are you thinking is going to be the best to kick off the format? Donce Zama, Calorac Shadow. Wadey, good morning, mate. How are you doing? Or afternoon? Hope you're doing well today, pal. I'm doing good, mate. Weekend was good as well. How about yourself, mate? Wasn't super eventful. Lots of like jobs that are like just needing to be done, which is not the most fun, but just, yeah, productive, I guess. My girlfriend actually bought me that Super Mario All-Stars game the same Christmas. She got me Violet. Just looked at it. Prices on eBay. Yeah, it's crazy, mate. Honestly, like, I was blown away. What a good Christmas present that, mate. Very good to see. But yeah, it's crazy how that, I don't even know what the prices are of it at the moment, but yeah, they just skyrocketed. I think it's because it had such a short print run. And then I think when people realized that all 3 games were in it, they wanted to pick it up. It was kind of too late. Wadey, that was my weekend too. Pretty chill still though, with the weather was beauty. Yeah, oh mate, the weather's been, I like, just something about when it's sunny outside, it just changes how you feel about everything. Like every day just feels so much better when it's like beaming sun outside. It's just so nice. I feel like we've finally come out of winter and it's like properly getting into summer. It's like really hot at the minute as well. So yeah, hopefully it continues. By the way, I've had a long break again from Arceus Hunt, struggling to get back into it, but I've now hit 7,700, about 130 hours. Jay, that is brutal, mate. Nearly double odds. I feel like that is just not on. That shiny Arceus needs to show up soon, mate. I really hope it does for you as well, because it's hard when you initially go over odds and you think, okay, it's gonna be close now, but then to go double and then on from there, it's never fun. It'll be awesome to get when you finally do it. That's another hunt as well that I need to get back to. I should have really done it, although getting through the resets with these is probably better doing double of these for this series. Although I always think, should I have brought like the Arceus hunt to do alongside the Dratini, just as something to do a little bit different. But the resets take such a long time. Brutal, mate. Fluttermane's still viable. Been kind of falling out of competitive. I always think Fluttermane will be viable, yeah, in any dual I think not just any dual restricted or any restricted format. I think it'll just be viable in any format that is available, BG, to be honest, unless something really comes out and it's such a hard counter to it. Even then though, you look like booster energy sets that have been good with the restricteds, and even the non-booster energy sets with like Focus Sash, when you got a way to activate that photosynthesis so easily with, you know, things like Koraidon that are pretty strong in the format. Torkoal, even, you can tag that in if you're in the Trick Room, Switch Team. I always think it will be. I think Fluttermane's just one of those Pokemon that's just so splashable onto so many teams. You know, it's why we'll see it have so much success time and time again. Went 3 times over odds for my last Galarian fossil and nearly at 3 times odds for this one, Dracozolt. Oh, so soggy. That is brutal, mate. 3 times over odds. It's unnecessary. It should not happen. It should be a cap. Yeah, I guess if there was a cap, it would be like, I'm gonna hit the cap and then it'll be fine. Take the excitement out of it, but oh, I hope it shows up soon. I'm still yet to beat the Deoxys going over odds. That was, as you guys know, not a fun one. That's here, my power creeping favorite is still good. I think it'll always be good. I really do. I love Flutter. It's so good. Ghost typing as well gives it such an advantage against so many things, you know, with the relying heavy fake out as well. Support to allow other things to kind of set up to work in the format like they do. But I think Flutter is one of those where it's like really good, but I feel like it's balanced enough where it's not too OP. You know, we've seen formats in the past where we've had Pokemon that are just way too powerful and they're on every team, and Flutter main's on the majority of a lot of teams, but a lot of players don't use it as well, so it's not like a guaranteed you use it and you'll win, you know. It's just very good. Its speed tiering's amazing. But like I say, I think it's still going to be very splashable in the dual restricted, like it's been for every single format it's been allowed to be used in. Rich, the weather is actually making it out of single digits up north now too. My weekend consisted of removing a lot of dandelions and weeds from the allotment. With the weather picking up, we went wild. It's a good time to do it, mate, for sure. Hope you enjoyed being out in the sun though. That's the main thing. Yeah, good to hear. I think it was it like 21 yesterday down here? It was pretty warm compared to what it has been. It's like not scorching, but it's yeah, it's been decent, like in the low 20s in the minute, which is nice. So hopefully that continues. It keeps getting hotter. Rich also managed to get all the unknown in PLA. Wow, mate, congrats. That's a nice set to have as well. I think you need it for the decks, don't you? To complete the decks, you need to get them all. I'd love to go out and shiny hunt them all. I think it'd be cool to have them all in shiny. I keep clicking, give a nickname. We don't want it. Cosmic, good morning, mate. How are you today? I hope you're well. Having a good start to your week. It says Soggy Octavish was 13,433 resets. What? That is absolutely nuts. I'm at 11,000 for Dracozolt and went 5,609 for August. It didn't feel like any balancing the numbers there at all. You get a little bit under odds for the Octazolt, but that's like not balanced at all. I feel like the last one that you need. Are you on the last hunt now, or you've got one more to go after this? Because I feel like that one, it should be, you should get it on the first fossil that you revive. That seems the only fair thing to happen. That's just nuts, mate. I'm sorry that it's taken so long. Really cool way to get them though. It'd be nice if those fossils are accessible in ZA, since we haven't had them in Scarlet and Violet. It'd be cool to have them pulled into those games. Imagine if they came in and they got megas. Be wild. Nothing to say they won't either, because we've got Mega Aerodactyl. Have we got any other fossils that got a Mega Evolution, or is it just Aerodactyl out of the fossils? I think it's just Aerodactyl. Maybe a yeah. Zamazenta is one of those Pokemon I have lots of trouble with. Bulk and speed is insane. Yeah, Zamazenta is so strong. It's so weird as well, coming from like Sword and Shield, where Zamazenta just wasn't even used barely, and Zacian was the top dog. Now that it's just totally flipped around, and now Zamazenta is 100% the better of the two. It's really cool to see though. It's so good. It's so good. I think it's definitely one of those that I'm considering using going into Bologna. I think it'd be like stupid to kind of look past it as a Pokemon like that and Calyrex. Even though people are preparing for it, I still think that team's performing extremely well. So it's got so many good tools as well. That's it. That's the thing. Like, you can change its Terra typing depending on what you think you're going to come up against to give you a better matchup against stuff. Whether you go Grass to give you a better chance against like Spore threats, Rage Powder stuff. We just go dragon just so you can take those elemental hits a little bit better. There's so many options with it. It's got wide guard. Yeah, it's got everything you need. It's such a good Pokemon. Still working on Draco's ult. Sasagi, that's the one. You need to get that. Like, that needs to show up like in sub 100 resets. I feel, just to slightly even it up. Body press, yeah, body press. I mean, that's the game changer on Zamazenta with the body press. Why it never had that in the first place, I have no idea. It would have been really good in Sword and Shield as well with that. Marcus was saying that wide guard has seemingly made it more viable, but I suppose it depends how you want to play it. I definitely agree though, like the wide guard, I think that's what makes Lunala so good as well, because Lunala's got the offensive presence, right? It's got good defense as well, which I think Zamazenta always has, because it's got the defense boost when it comes onto the field. So and it's pretty bulky. But the wide guard not only allows you to kind of just be an offensive threat, but it gives your opponent a lot of issues. And it's not just one of those moves that I feel like is good in practice. It's one of those moves that's good in team preview. I shouldn't say team preview. It is team preview almost, but it's like on the open team sheet. When your opponent sees that on that Pokemon, they have to think twice straight away about clicking in on any of those spread attacks that they would generally rely on quite heavily. Like Calyrex, if it's got Astral Barrage, can't really click it very freely. It's risky to click that button because you could be almost wasting a turn. And in VG, it's like such a high, fast-paced game, so punishing if you make a wrong turn anywhere. Like, you want to try and mitigate the amount of like lost turns as much as possible, and having that like 50-50 split in those scenarios just by having the presence of that one move is so big. And then it can also come in really clutch in end games where you can cultivate an end game scenario where you can lock out a game automatically just by having wide guard, where your opponent has zero way to hit you, especially if you've got like a Terra type that's maybe like dark or something like that. This is just, you know, spitballing scenarios here, but you could have a dark type that shuts out the psychic, and then you got wide guard, so they've got no way to hit you, so you lock out the game, you know. So it's the utility of it kind of, it's so deep, and it can fall into like so many different categories of being useful. But yeah, it's I think wide guard's massive on it. But like I say with Lunala as well, just that Pokemon, maybe that's why they're having a lot more success. I mean, Zamazenta's had success since the start of the regulation, but Lunala's kind of finding a little bit more playability now. I guess after that US regional a little while ago where it won. But yeah, would Zacian or Miraidon be capable of taking on Mega Rayquaza? Miraidon 100% would be, yeah. Zacian probably, probably depends on the set of the Rayquaza, of course. But yeah, both probably have pretty positive matchups into Rayquaza. The problem with Rayquaza is even Mega Rayquaza, its speed stat, it struggles against even like the newer restricteds that just have these stupidly insane speed stats. So a lot of the older restricteds, although they still can like hold their own, like Kyogre can still hold its own against most other restricteds, they do struggle a little bit stat wise, where I feel like the stat distribution of like newer restricteds is like way better balanced. That's why it'd be nice to see like maybe a revamp. Maybe that's the sort of thing that we might see, like balance patches in champions, you know, like you see in Unite. It'd be kind of something I would like to see with Pokemon, where they can do that and implement like slight stat tweaks to Pokemon to make them a little bit more viable. But I don't know if they'll ever do that. Marcus, life's good. Great to hear, mate. I got some pretty good deals on Switch on 2 new used games. I see the number 2 and I automatically think Switch the whole time, so I should get that out of my head. I should be getting Scarlet and White 2 today. Awesome, mate. Great to hear. That is banger, mate. White 2, one of my favorites. That is going to be an awesome game. Have you played it before? Is this going to be like your first time playing through that? Very excited for you. Regardless if it's a replay or the first time, it's going to be awesome, mate. Baldur's Gate has people hoodwinked as far as asking, where are the shiny legends in Scarlet and Violet? The shiny legends locked behind more stakes, ruined stakes. There's hidden stakes in Scarlet and Violet. If you can find the 100 hidden ruined stakes, then you unlock another door. This is what I should have done for April Fools. I should have done a video for April Fools on the hidden yeah, I'm too slow with the idea now, and it'll not be relevant this time next year. I had my opportunity and I blew it. So yeah, there's 100 hidden stakes that you can't see. You have to get a Pokemon with foresight and use that in the overworld in special locations, and they will show up these special hidden stakes that would then lead you to a seal where a random legendary Pokemon, Chien-Pao, Chi-Yu would appear, and it's totally random to your game which one you get, but whichever one does pop up is shiny huntable. Could have made a really great parody video with that. Would have been funny. Never mind. Never played Gen 5, but excited to say, oh mate, you're gonna have an absolute blast with it. That is very exciting. Absolute banger game. Honestly, the hype that those games gets is not just like formal hype, it is genuine hype. They're great games. You're gonna have to keep me up to date with how those playthroughs are going, mate, and how you're enjoying it. We are running low on battery. Think that my shiny Execute from the Leaf Green Safari Zone I got 13 years ago, and shiny Togepi from the Mystery Egg. First shot on Hot Gold with my wireless shinies. Matt, that is crazy. They are banger shinies. That's amazing, mate. Safari Zone in Leaf Green. Wow, that is very cool. Dominic, how are you doing? I think that corporation could have some weird portals or dens with legendaries. That'd be kind of cool, yeah. That would be, I think, like the whole Hooper thing could come into it. Oh yeah, I think they're definitely post game. They probably have something where we'll be able to encounter either mythicals or legendaries, I would imagine. So I just hope they're shiny huntable, because the one drawback with the legendaries that we got in Arceus was they were all shiny locked, which is really sad, because it was like, it didn't matter so much, because I guess at the same time we had BDSP where you could go into those games. The majority of the legendaries that were in, you know, Legends Arceus were available in BDSP, so they kind of unlocked them in those other games. It kind of made it not as bad. But if they do the same in Legends EA, it's like, huh, okay, why you keep doing this? So hopefully, with the premium that we're gonna have to pay for these games now, they just give us the shiny Pokemon. Hopefully, we'll see what happens. Johnny, how are you doing, mate? Great to see you. How's the start to your week gone? Professor Oak, is Professor Oak here? Have I missed Professor Oak coming into chat? Let me see, scroll up. I don't know, can't see Professor Oak. Cannot, I saw the name, but the myth, the legend is not here. No, might be recovering from the foosball yesterday still. Next year you'll have to come up with something good for ZA for April Fools, maybe a hidden mega or something. Yeah, a really convoluted way to get unlock a new mega Pokemon. Yeah, that's yeah, we'll do something for it. I keep meaning I want to do something every year, and then I'm like, the ideas I feel like I get at the time are really lame, so I'm like, nah, I'm not gonna do that. And then it comes and goes, and I'm like, it's too late now. Matt Lee, I panicked with that Execute. Might have been my first ever shot. Wow, that's scary as well. Getting it in the Safari Zone is never the kindest, because like the chances of actually snagging it in the Safari Zone are pretty slim. So yeah, I can imagine. Yeah, horrible. It's exciting at the same time, but I'm pleased you managed to get it. That is awesome, mate. First ever shiny. That is very, very cool. Ultra Genie. Never shining. Has to shine today. Trying to get back into Sun Shield, but every time I get back to it, I'm just like, yuck. I haven't, honestly, David, like I had that feeling going into a lot of the hunts that I've done recently in it. But I had the complete opposite feeling when I was in the games, playing them. I really appreciate Sun Shield a lot more than I think I did more recently or at the time. Like, they're really nice games to go into. Like, there's just a lot about them that I like. I think, yeah, it's weird. Story mode is pretty thin. There's not really much there with the playthrough, but I think post-game stuff and DLCs really kind of add to it. I enjoyed them when I think back to them, but going back in and just playing the games aesthetically, I think they're really nice games, to be honest. But yeah, I know what you mean. I'm not the hugest fan and probably will never be of Dynamax Adventure raids. They're not my most fun thing to go and do, but they're not terrible either. There's definitely worse games, I think, to go into to play. Donald, speaking of shinies, finished Galar Pokedex, just need Isle of Armor and Tundra, and then all of the decks complete. Challenges done. That is amazing, Donald. Nearly done, mate. So what would that be then? You've got like 200 left to do with the DLC dexes. With what, like, if you take out the Pokemon that you would have already had from the main decks. That's awesome though. Getting very close to finishing it. Maybe not even that many. Xia, how are we doing? Something shine. I hope something shines. As for Zia, hopefully Zygarde is not shiny locked so I can get myself one. Hunting Dynamax Adventures is a pain. Yeah, 100%. I've got a feeling that this is what's going to happen. I'm going to commit to getting the Zygarde and Dynamax Adventures. Then Zia is going to drop. I'm going to have like one of the easiest ways to get a shiny, or it's just going to be shiny Zygarde. Get like catchable. That's what's going to set it apart from any other Zygarde that's available in other games. It's just going to be shiny. It'd be nice though if Zia did have a way for us to shiny hunt it. Honestly, I think that's one of the big hopes, is that we do have a new mechanic to shiny hunt in those games. Hopefully mass outbreaks return like they were in Legends Arceus. I really like how those outbreaks functioned, you know. They're quite small outbreaks, they're not crazy, and you know, the shiny hunting for them as well, the methods was pretty cool, especially if they bring alpha Pokemon back. I'm hoping they do. I'm really hoping that we haven't seen the last alpha Pokemon. They were just like a one-off in Legends Arceus. It would be nice if they stayed in the whole Legends series as we go through other games, but we'll have to wait and see what happens there. Speaking of Safari Zone, did you see that Chazindra got that starter in silver? I did, Riley. Yeah, crazy. Was it just under odds as well, which is amazing. Yeah, really great to see. Finally got it. Sent me like a little DM about it, so it was awesome to see. Yeah, really happy for him. I haven't spoke to Charlie though. I don't know, I might have asked them, but I don't know. Is he doing a shiny only, like a dream team quest for that, or is he just going for the shiny Totodile just to have that one and then trade it up to have in ZA when that drops? Jude, how are you doing? Cool to watch your stream. Cool to have you here, Jude. Hope you're having a good Monday, mate. Thanks for dropping by. How is your Monday going? Got the shiny Lugia last night in Soul Silver. 4,947 resets. Shiny Hunter. That is incredible. Congrats. Awesome to hear that you've got that Lugia. What ball did you catch it in? Did you just master ball it? There's no shame in master balling a shiny Lugia. That is awesome though. I'm really happy. A nice amount of resets as well. Not like too crazy high and not super low. Like enough. There is a possibility of Mega Zygarde in here. I think like there's a good possibility of it. I think it would make sense. The game's kind of like about Zygarde in a lot of ways, so you know, it'd be kind of cool if it did. I always find it hard like seeing Zygarde getting a Mega though, because I feel like it's got like the complete form, which feels like almost mega form in itself, you know, but it gets a mega form on top of that. That's kind of crazy, but cool at the same time. I wouldn't be opposed to seeing anything get a mega form. There is possibility. Yeah. Oh snap, congrats. Yeah, great pickup. The Ogapon cap is super cute, Lee. Where did you get it? Johnny, this one was from EUIC, so I think NIC should have them. There was like a Pokemon Center one, so you could get the, I think, hanging up is a spare. So this was the trainer one. This was one competitor one. You got this one. Yeah, it was the one that was in the Pokemon Center. So this was like an exclusive one. I just preferred the colors of this one. So yeah. So if you know of anyone going to NAIC, I'm sure they'll be there in that pop-up Pokemon store there. So you might be able to ask someone to snag one for you. I would if I was gone, but I'm not going to be there this year, sadly. I think what grinds me about Sword and Shield is the map. Legit have no idea where I'm going. Can you put a marker down to help you like you can in Legends Arceus? I can't remember, because if you can't, that's definitely one of those quality of life updates that you feel like it should have been in that game, which I can't remember. I don't know if there was, but I know what you mean, because the map is not the best to follow around, especially in places like the Crown Tundra. You kind of have to guess which way the map is, where you're going, orientating around. Not the easiest. And Riley, yes, it is a full Dream Team quest. Ah, okay, cool, very cool. Wanted to say hi to you at EUIC. Dude, I'm sorry I missed you at EUIC. It's so busy at those events though. It's like, you know, the small window of time that you get to go out into the crowd, like it's hard. And like sometimes when you do, majority of players are like in a match or doing other side event stuff, so it's like really hard to catch people. Hopefully though, the next event that you're at, I'll be able to catch up with you properly where we're both there. That'd be cool. I think one could predict Mega Zygarde without leaks and stuff. It's just the most obvious new form imaginable. I guess so. Yeah. I've seen none of the leaks really. I mean, I've seen a one leak, but like I was saying in the last stream, I thought I'd seen a leak, but that leak turned out to be a fake leak. Surprise, surprise. So I was like pretty happy to see that, but at the same time, I'm like, I won't go into details here because I don't want to spoil anything for anyone if it does turn out to be an actual thing. But it wouldn't have been one that I wouldn't have, if I put money on saying, oh, I think this is going to be one of the Pokemon that gets a Mega because of this reason. I'm trying to be as vague as possible, but yeah, it was an obvious one that I thought would get one, but it turns out it was a fake anyway. So yeah, that's all right. So I'm still spoiler free at this moment in time. I don't know how long that'll stay for, but we'll see. Oh, dude, you finished 9-3, mate. Unfortunately, it's an incredible finish. Like, you've got to be really proud of that. Like, that is in such a tough field, huge high stakes event. That's like a really solid finish. Really solid, mate. Yeah. And it's just something to build on, you know, like take that experience, like the experience that you've got from that event. You don't need me to tell you this. You already know, but you know, I just think just give yourself a pat on the back for that. It's not the finish that you would have wanted, because I'm sure you would have wanted to go on further, but like still, it's still a really commendable finish. But when you want like more and you have higher expectations of yourself as a player, you want to go on and win, 9-3 is nothing you want to settle on. So I totally get that as well. But at the same time, I think congrats on that finish, because it's not easy. It's really not easy to go positive at all, and to go positive in such a manner. Like, that's, you know, a huge deficit, like 9 wins, only 3 losses. It's really good doing that. Speaking of merchant events, Johnny, what is this? I just hope they'll have new Salamence plushie at the Bologna special event with the massive heads. So it's goofy. I haven't seen it, mate. I haven't seen it. Maybe one of the vendors has it. The problem is with the regionals and special events, we don't have any like official Pokemon Center pop-up. And I don't know why they don't do it. Like the other vendors do amazingly well. The vendors that go to like the regional events around Europe must make absolute bank. And I never understand why it wouldn't be that difficult for Pokemon at every single regional to have a small pop-up Pokemon Center. They don't need to go to crazy extents like they do at EYC and Worlds, but just having a small one at each and every event where they've got stuff, you know, from the Pokemon Center, maybe exclusive merch for like, not for every different regional, but like just regional exclusive merch. That'd be kind of cool to do. I think they're missing out on a massive opportunity, but who knows? They probably can't. They're probably, the margins are probably like, it's not worth us doing it. It's kind of hard to go to more events since I'm in Singapore, but it could have top cut for sure. Yeah, that's the thing, like being so close to it with that result as well, dude. It's like makes it so difficult to like swallow, you know, the finish. But hopefully the next one that you get out to, you'll be able to kind of have a repeat and then, you know, just go that like one step better and then make it into top cut day 2. But incredible finish regardless, you know. I think that result, it like such a big event, is amazing. But it stings a bit more because it's like on the cusp of getting top cut, progressing on, being so close. Draconified, how are you doing? On Saturday I competed in the Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee decks and I got shiny Meltan completed. That's awesome, mate. Shiny Meltan. Have you ported it into Sword and Shield yet? Or are you just keeping it in Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee? I put mine into Sword and Shield and it's so funny. Like it's the slow. If you've ever had any of the Pokemon following you in the Crown Tundra, Meltan is probably the slowest Pokemon. I expected it to be like pretty nippy, being a little Pokemon, but it's so slow, so funny. Johnny, after PL Pokemon Legends Arceus ZA feels like such a downgrade. I have zero hype. I'm looking forward for all the leaks. Oh mate, sorry to hear that you're not feeling the hype for these games. I mean, I'm not in the same way. I think I said it on the last stream. I just have this horrible feeling like I'm really excited and I know I'm going to enjoy ZA regardless, and it'll be a good game. I think I just feel like it's got a lot to live up to with how good Legends Arceus was, and I just don't know if this is going to hit those same beats, you know. And that's what I worry about, like as a game and a Legends game in general. And we've got all these issues with like prices of things at the minute as well. Switch 2, like what's the cost of the upgrade going to cost from like the base games to the Switch 2 version of the games? I don't know. Are they going to add DLC content finally to this series? Because I think like we got the Daybreak update, but it was an update. It was just like it wasn't really a DLC patch, you know. And I think that's something that they need to start doing. And I think putting a bit more effort into the DLCs for these side games and stuff like that. So yeah, hopefully it all works out. Hopefully they've done a good job with the story. I think they probably will, with like AZ and tying everything together and what the lore is. Hopefully we get a good bunch of new mega Pokemon and regional variants as well. I think there's a lot of things that they've got to squeeze in here, but they've had enough time and they've been working on these games for a long time, so it feels like they should be good. I just worry because I haven't enjoyed a Pokemon game as much as I have Legends Arceus in such a long time, and I don't know if like that's the same with you guys as well. And that's what makes me worry, like, am I going to enjoy as much as I did Legends Arceus, or is it just going to be like, yeah, it was just too much. They couldn't surpass what they did, what they achieved in Legends Arceus. Who knows? Especially with like Gen 10, you think like Gen 10 and this is kind of simultaneously like being worked on, developed at the same time. So it's, I know they've got multiple teams that they do stuff with, but let's see. I'll not make any assumptions. I just got my concerns, I guess, with ZA at the moment until we get a little bit more info. And we've not had that much info really as of yet. And I think as well, like, it's warranted, like, people having these worries about it just being in Lumios City. I think that's another thing as well. In your last stream, you mentioned you had a schedule for streams now. Riley, yeah, so like this week looking like it'll be like Monday, Wednesday, Friday this week. Thursday evening with Charlie, we're going back, starting run 2 of the Soul Link. So hopefully this second run works out a little bit better. I need to speak to Charlie as well. Iron out the technical issues, because it's I don't know what wizardry we're doing to get these streams working, but we need a better way to set them up going forward. And then be on time. Schedule it and be on time. I hate being late to anything. And the last 2 that we've done together, we've been like 40 minutes late. And I'm like... So hopefully this time around, we'll get everything ironed up beforehand and we'll be on time. And we can start. And it'll make it a bit more smoother as well. Imagine the port of Scarlet and Violet on the Switch 2 will be like Oblivion Remaster. Game Freak be like, the console, not the game. Could you imagine? It'd be hilarious. The console, not the game. You could see that excuse being used as well. I'm hoping that the upgrades, because it's a free one, right? And I think that they could not have charged for that upgrade to Scarlet and Violet on the Switch 2. There's like zero way, but I'm really interested to see what it looks like in comparison. How, you know, there's any like additional stuff. I wonder if they'll put, because you remember they took out a lot of NPCs, didn't they, from the game? And one of the updates, because it was crashing the areas because it just couldn't load properly, and it was just too much for the game to manage, or the Switch to manage. So I wonder if the NPCs will return that got taken out, and then just, yeah, I wonder what else they'll do to it to make it a little bit more enjoyable, or a better experience. Not enjoyable. I enjoyed Scarlet and Violet, but yeah, it's definitely got its pitfalls. Johnny, I'm gonna enjoy ZA too. It's just such a weird concept. The trailer looks meh. Well, PLA was phenomenal from start to finish. Yeah, I do agree. It's like, I think as well, it had the, like, Legends Arceus had the novelty of being set in the distant past as well, which was, it's kind of cool, that whole story arc there, and being set in that time line as well, where now it's set in more of a present sort of setting. It's kind of cool in a lot of ways, where you know, you'll look at it and you'll be like, okay, well, hopefully we have the apricot balls, so it means like trading Pokemon in, we'll be able to use those. We'll not have to deal with like strange ball stuff, so stuff that we've caught in the past can be ported in, stuff that we catch in these games. You know, there's all those little like intricate details that make it a little bit more in line with games that we're playing at the minute. But I think that just it was just, I don't know, there's just an allure about like Legends here and Legends Arceus, I should say, just about that whole game, the aesthetics, the feeling of the game. I just feel like it's going to be a hard one to top, at least for me anyway. So the Gimmighoul event is returning and I'm excited about it. I have a decision for that Pokemon. Draconified, I am excited for it too. It gives us a chance to go, actually, it gives us an excuse to go and shiny hunt it. I think from like Wednesday on, when the event drops, we'll stream that for the rest of the week. So we'll probably do this today. We'll probably do the Gimmighoul event Wednesday, try and get it shiny in game, and then if we do, we can then host the raid to anyone that wants to join in to get themselves a shiny Gimmighoul before the event ends. I think that would be a really cool one to go for, but good luck if you're going for it yourself. And then all the mass outbreaks as well on top of that. Rich PLA was an absolute game changer and what brought me back to the franchise. I'm hoping for the best, but not sure ZA can reach those heights. You know, the other thing to look at it, like, I'm looking at it from like a really pessimistic point of view. It could surpass it. Like, it could be better than what we're expecting it to be, just because we've got these like crazy high expectations that can it be as good as Legends Arceus? It could be better. It could be better. So that's the other thing we could be optimistic about. And because I've had this extra time to work on it, maybe that is reason for thinking that it's going to be better, you know? You're not excited. No, Draconified, you're not excited about it. The Gimmighoul event, I mean. Or Legends ZA, which one? Or neither? Have I just misread that? Let me see. Let me go back. You're not excited about it. I'm just putting words in my head because I'm looking forward to the event coming back. I'm sorry, mate. I'll probably add Herba Mystica into the raids this time around, I'd imagine. So it might be a good way to farm if you need any in-game. You may not need any though, so. It's only a week though for Golden Week, and I can't expect anything else happening Pokemon-wise for the rest of this week. Just with Japan being kind of on holiday, so I'm probably stuck with these two events, and that might be it. I might get a mystery gift event dropping this week as well. Could get something new dropping there, I guess. That'd be kind of cool. Make sure to pick your Rillabooms up in game though if you haven't got one already, because I think that event runs in, it's not got the longest run time, but it's got a decent amount. Pokemon has always been about exploration, forcing Pokemon inside pockets in the city limits. Just weird, and you can see why they did that. Just started from the concept from the night battles. Yeah, and I guess as well, like, we don't know how much of the city we're going to be able to explore like underground. I'd imagine we'll be able to up to like the tunnels of Turnimus Cave. Maybe we'll link to the city. You would imagine we'll be able to go and explore those, but like how much are we going to be able to explore is the question, I guess. Should be good though. Should be good. Couldn't find the shiny and I caved and had to ask someone to trade me for an extra shiny. Yeah, I mean the past two that like I didn't really have much time to do the last time it dropped because it was Worlds. So I was in Hawaii for that. And the time before that, when it first dropped, I did the same. I kind of shiny hunted for it, and then I was like, I don't have time to do this at the minute. And it was such a grind. But this time around, I feel like I'm in a better place to be like, okay, let's dedicate some time to get this shiny Gimmighoul. And it'll be a really cool one to find if we can find it. There's no guarantees. For ZA, there must be something like a catacombs or an outdoor area, because yeah, being in one city is going to be very samey, especially after the 3 great regions of Paldea keep coming. Yeah, exactly that. I think there's got to be underground. You know, we've seen the the rooftop areas, but pretty much the same area, isn't it? It's not really any different. And the nighttime, I mean, the city changes. It's kind of cool. But again, it's not super different. So I do think we'll need other areas as well. Europe is out of electricity. You are. Which European countries? I'm in Europe right now, and I'm plugged in, and it looks like it's all working fine. Is this serious though? Are you being serious? Is this like news? I don't have anything popping up immediately on my phone, which I feel like if it was real, it would be there. Rich, while you're here, if you're active in the chat, have you managed to secure yourself a ultra premium collection for Prismatic Evolution? Or do you know any information where they will be doing pre-orders? Yeah, the odds are slightly different, aren't they? Yeah, they're not base odds. I kind of remembered that, but I couldn't find anything when I was doing the video last night to like the info on it, so I just left it at base odds. I feel like that's pretty, it was fine enough for the close enough. But yeah, you're right, Draconified, the odds are not exactly base, which is weird. It's so weird, which makes you think, could they just increase them slightly? Like, I'd feel in one way it'd be nice to see them increase the shiny odds slightly for this raid, so it makes it a bit more accessible to get the shiny Gimmighoul. But in the other respect. I would feel super bad for those people that had already shiny hunted for the chest form Gimmighoul the past 2 events and managed to get it with the base odds. So it doesn't kind of feel fair. So I don't know if they'll do that. I may do Jumbo shiny hunt for Growlithe. That's a cool one to do for sure. Yeah, I think out of the 3, the Growlithe is probably the one that I'll go. Probably I would do something like that for. Oh, okay, Johnny. Fair enough. Fine. Wasn't my choice. Wasn't my choice, but yes, you are right. I had it my way. Never mind. You are right though. Well, technically we still are, but we're just technically not as well. Sad times. Imagine the nighttime in ZA is like Minecraft or Ocarina of Time, where as the sun sets you have these bigger and spookier Pokemon starting to come out and you have to make it back before you get got. That'd be kind of cool, wouldn't it? Like maybe like nighttime is when that, like if they do have alpha Pokemon in the games, maybe that's when the alpha Pokemon come out at night. That would be cool. Spain and Portugal, like countrywide, seriously, that is not great. That's actually like, yeah, I'm just thinking like all the casters that are out there now, all the event people as well from the, especially in Spain. I mean, all the people that live there, of course, as well. It's not ideal for those people, but I guess all the casters will be coming back. Majority of them will be flying or planning to fly back this morning. So yeah, that is devastating. I hope it gets resolved soon. Do they know what's caused the issue? Is it like a national grid thing? David, you haven't hurt my feelings, mate. You haven't. You have upset me. No, I'm joking. There was an update spreadsheet that compares the size in Pogo and Jumbo Teensy Mark in Scarlet and Violet. That sounds cool. I wonder what the difference would be. Like, I'm sad that the alpha Pokemon aren't, when you port them into Scarlet and Violet, they don't really have, they're not that big, are they? It's I hope in ZA that they have alpha. If they have alphas, then we know that the size comparison is going to be pretty bang on, so that's kind of cool. Could you imagine going out and catching an alpha shiny Zygarde? That would be lit. That would be very, very cool. So you can have XL Pokemon in Go be XXL Jumbo marked in Scarlet and Violet. Oh wow, is that how it works out, David? Wild. I still want alpha Pokemon. Collecting them in PLA added so much extra life to it. Yeah, I agree with you. I'm like, the one thing that I'm hoping they do keep like as a continuation is alpha Pokemon. It'd be very cool. Because it's so sad if like Legends Arceus is the only game where we get those alphas. You think like, oh, you've spent all this time to get there. It's got a cool mark, but yeah, they don't have any relevance in any other game. I mean, the mark itself is cool, but outside of that, it's, you know, there's no continuation of them anywhere else. Just, I would feel weird for the Legends Arceus to be the only game where alphas were. Maybe we see them in Gen 10, potentially. It's just that extra layer, isn't it? Of like collectability. Still have Polchia's shiny Arcanine from like Sword and Shield distribution. Don't need any other Arcanine. Yeah, there was the, I think, wasn't that Scarlet and Violet distribution? Or Paul had like 2 shiny Arcanines distributed. Because it was from EUIC where he beat Agati. Because Agati that year used Baxcalibur, and I think that would have been, I think Baxcalibur might have been the mystery gift Pokemon that was distributed if Gabrielle had won, or Paul won. and I think the only option was the shiny Arcanine. So yeah, was that last year or was that, no, that was, I think, a distribution last year at NAIC. Would it have been NAIC? No, yeah, it would have been NAIC distribution. Because they normally do the mystery gift. So it'll be like, yeah, for NAIC this year, it'll be something from Wolf's team. And you know, like, they have to do the Incineroar. I just wonder if they will, because this partner Pokemon, starter Pokemon, are a little bit different than anything else. So I don't know, but that event recently for Taiwan did Rillaboom, so that maybe changes stuff. Maybe that paves the way now that we can do the Incineroar, because it has to be Wolf's Incineroar for the script, doesn't it? Pokemon scales are way off in relation to player size in Scarlet and Violet. Yeah, way. Oh, I've nicknamed this one. Watch this one be the shiny that I've nicknamed A. Please, it's not. I mean, the chances of it happening were pretty slim anyway. Certain species, yeah. Weren't alpha Pokemon eligible for mini mark in Scarlet and Violet originally? Was that like a weird coding error in one of the early updates? I did hear about that. Yeah, I never did it myself, but I'm pretty sure I heard something along those lines. Just hope they release Wolf's Gothitelle. Could you imagine? Yeah, they can't. I feel like their hands are almost forced at this point. It has to be the Incineroar. It can't be anything else. There will be riots, I feel like. Rich, yeah. Wolf's Incy, which wears his glasses and front resembles his hair. So yeah. They just give it like Incineroar a skin, a special skin for this one distro. That'd be hilarious. Could you imagine? Super trolls with Gothitelle. It would be, yeah. Could you imagine? Lumpy just got settled into work. I hope you have a fantastic day, mate. I do. And I hope the day goes nice and smoothly, being a Monday and all. To be honest, though, Gothitelle is well more important for the Perish Trap than Incineroar, so yeah. Well, I think for the archetype, yeah, you're right. But I think for the, you know, the story, it has to be Incineroar. Lumpy, you'll never walk alone. You enjoy it yesterday, mate. And the celebrations at the end. Nice to see you finally get it. Still singing, still buzzing, mate. Good way to do it as well, like stonking Tottenham. So that was good. Solid victory yesterday to get it over the line. Back when Scarlet and Violet launched home compatibility, if you had transferred a Pokemon from home into PLA and then into Scarlet and Violet, the size would be set to minimum. This made it so the Ribbon Master Sneasel got a free mark. That's very cool. That is very cool. So you actually managed to snag it with the mark as well. Wolf's Coridon, they'll never give out a box legendary. Never. That'll never happen. I think there are some Pokemon that are like off limits. From what I know, from what I understand, obviously I'm not anyone official, so I don't know exactly what the rules and regs are about distributions, but I would definitely safely say that they'll never distribute like a mystery gift like that one. I think it'd have to be a very special mystery gift, you know, like they'll do like Coridon and Miraidon as their shinies, but I don't think they would ever do a mystery gift for the regular ones, because they're like version exclusives as well, and they're box legendaries, and I think they've just come out, so that it feels very early for them to do anything like that. Whereas the shiny ones, I think they'll always do at the end cycle of the game. They'll always give the shiny Or they seem to have been in that pattern recently. Although it feels like a pattern that they've done recently, it doesn't always guarantee that they're going to do that, you know? They've just done it from Sun and Moon. They did Sun and Moon, Solglare, Lunala, Necrozma. Did they? And then they did the Eternatus, Zacian, and Zamazenta as well from Sword and Shield. So you would expect them to do the same for Scarlet and Violet. Koraidon, Miraidon, and then maybe Terapagos as well, which would be kind of cool. Anyways, 2 p.m. gotta go. Have a great rest of your evening and good luck. Johnny, thank you so much for coming by the stream today, mate, and enjoy the rest of your day, and I'll hopefully catch you on the next one. If it's not NC, people would riot. If it is NC, people would still riot. Either way, Twitter is gonna blow. Yeah, of course. People are gonna go crazy with it. Either way. Probably the most downloaded mystery gift Pokemon event I think that we've probably had. Still waiting for shiny Calyrex. I know. I wish they just did a raid event for Calyrex. It would have made it so much easier for the player base than having to go out and, you know, buy. It's not just buy an extra copy of like Sword and Shield. It's like I've got Calyrex from both my Sword and my Shield, and I don't really. I did it last year. Marcus asked me if I would give him a hand with his team, and I said, yeah, no problem. I did a new playthrough of Shield. Played through it to the point where I could get Calyrex and the current Tundra, because you can access that a lot earlier. Then on encountering Calyrex, got reminded that, oh yeah, you need to be champion in Galar before you can actually catch it. So then I had to go and do all the gyms and become champion, and then go back to the hunt to get the 0 speed one that I thought he wanted. Got the 0 speed one that I thought he wanted, and he was like, no, it's 0 attack I want for Shadow Rider. And I was like, oh man. So I managed to kind of reboot the game at the save point before it actually caught it, and then get the one that he wanted. So, but it's such a pain playing through the whole game again just to get it, when they could do it in a Terror Raid, like a 5-star Terror Raid for Calyrex. Just it would have made it so much easier. It still would make it easier now for players, you know, not to have to. Yeah, why they don't do it? Why that'd be my big question. Or just have it in as one of the shiny one of the legendary Pokemon that we could have got from the Snacksworth snacks. We got the other 2 horses. It would have made sense if we could have got that one as well, you know. But that's enough of my complaining for today. We've heard it all before. Right, I think what we'll do is take this to 900, just over 900, and then I'm gonna have to wrap it up for today, friends. But it's been a great stream. I've really enjoyed hanging out, catching up with you all, and getting back into a more better schedule this week. So the next stream will be on Wednesday, and I think we'll take a break from this just because we've got the Gimmighoul, Chest Form Gimmighoul event. It'd be kind of cool to jump in and try and get that one. So we'll do that Wednesday, and then continue that, I guess, for the rest of the time that it's running until we manage to get the shiny. So it'll probably be a longer stream on Wednesday as well, considering that I would like to put in a good amount of time to try and get it as soon as possible. Doesn't give me launch Thursday. No, I think it's Wednesday, Riley. So it goes live Wednesday evening and runs to the following Thursday, where it'll end. And I'm assuming that'll end the following Thursday, and then the next pseudo legendary 7-star raid will begin. So these events go up. Yeah, it's Wednesday 30th. Yes, 30th. So Wednesday, weird day for it to go up, but that is the day. So we'll do that Wednesday. Yeah, so it should be tomorrow evening, like midnight or 1 a.m. and it'll go live very early, which is cool. So hopefully we get lucky with it early on, because like I say, if we do get it, I'll just host the raid for those that want to get one. Then you've got a legitimate way where it's not a bot or anything like that, you know. We've got it legitimately in game, and then you can pick one up. And I'll just do extra streams between now and then to make sure everyone that wants one can pick one up. Thanks for streaming. It's a fun stream. It's been really fun. Thank you so much for coming by, friends, today. It's been great. I know we're still stuck on this Dratini, Dragon's Cave, but we will get it soon, and we're getting through the resets pretty good. So if we can maybe add some of these in, we could probably do some resets while we do the Gimmighoul hunt on Wednesday as well. So I might set it up where we have this like on the side and we do the Gimmighoul main, and then we do this just so we can kind of keep going and ticking over with the resets, so can hopefully get through them and maybe land on that shiny. The gravity of Lana pulling me to put me back to sleep. So groggy now. Right, Dad? No. I hate that feeling, mate. It's the worst, isn't it? It's like the best decision at the time, worst decision when you wake up again. Right, last check of the day. Can we get the shiny? This will take us over 900. Check so far. Whoosh. Quiet and naive. No bread today. Well, it's been a good attempt anyway, and like I say, we're getting through the resets, so an eighth of the way there basically. Guinness for breakfast will fix it. There we go. There is some there's some good advice if you ever heard some. Definitely hair of the dog time. I got one from Absol last time. Oh wow, that's very cool, Riley. Yeah, I saw Absol's video on it. It's very cool, very inspirational, I think, for going into it this time. James, have a good daily. Check out the general Pokemon channel chat. I will do as soon as I get a moment, mate. And congrats again on the shiny nugget as well. 100th one for sure. Oh yeah, yeah, Dominic, I think we will. So we'll try and get it. We'll try and do some more on Wednesday, and we'll do the Gimmighoul as well when that goes live. But thank you so much for coming by, friends. Have a great rest of your day, whatever you're up to. If you're doing your own shiny hunts, good luck with those. I really hope you have some luck with them, and just enjoy the rest of Monday, and I will see you all on Wednesday. I'll probably put an update video on the channel regarding the new event and just some tips for making the Gimmighoul hunt a little bit easier from the past two ones, so keep an eye out for that one. Any other news in between now and then, I'll update on the channel. But have a great rest of your day, and as soon as I organize the next member stream for the Deoxys and the Mew giveaway, I'll update you in the community section of the channel with that date and time and stuff. So we'll see you then, friends. I'm not going to drag this on any longer. You go and enjoy the rest of your day. Thank you so much again, and I'll see you all in another one very soon. Take care, friends. Bye bye.